Dennis the Ace. Welcome back to my channel. And today we want to talk about why it is a good time to start a lawn care business or side hustle. Number one, you get to be your own boss. And by being your own boss, work becomes flexible. You get to set your own time schedule, right? You determine your own income, you choose who you want to work for, who you want to work with, you take your breaks at your leisure, and if it is vacation, just the same. So you refuse customers if you want to, and you select the ones that you want to work with. You determine how much you want to do and how much you want to charge for each job. You determine whether you want to work in the morning, whether you want to work in the evening, whether you want to work on weekends, whether you want to work midday or whatever. You are your own boss. And most of all, this is a very easy skill to learn. So it does not require that you go to a university in order to learn this. Of course, you can advance your knowledge in the field and you can gain experience from others, but basically it's on-the-job learning when it comes on to doing lawn care, right? Now, let's look at the deteriorating economic climate, which is also a factor which would be some reason that will help you to start this business. So one is recession. Let's consider recession. Because of the current economic climate, recession is resulting in layoffs, pay cuts, change of job structure, right? So you have to work longer hours and now you even get less pay. So apart from the fact that you're getting less pay, you have other individuals who have less time for their lawn care activities. So people who normally take care of them own lawn, they no longer have as much time. Them now stress out and them can't deal with so much things. So now them require people in order to get them things here done, right? Cutting them lawn and them trees and them hedge and sweep up them leaf and all of these things, right? Next we look at inflation. So you notice that everything increase, right? Everything increase. Rent, mortgage, childcare, food, clothes, transportation, fuel, utility, all our bills them go up. And at the moment, we need to supplement this. We need to have a way for bringing some additional income. Now, when we look at recession and inflation together, there's like a term where them talk about stagflation, you understand? But on the real though, ever since the pandemic hit, things has changed so much. So this has caused, all of these things to accelerate. And so at this point, it now creates an opportunity for you to make an additional income from doing some lawn and tree care service. Well, not necessarily tree care, but easiest way to start out is with a lawn, right? We can touch on tree care another time. But let's also look at the booming construction in the construction industry, right? Housing development. So we're looking at both commercial and residential actually, and not just housing, right? So what you have is office buildings and warehouses being created, right? More of these are going up. In addition to that, you have residential lots that are going up in the droves, right? So you have people building on their own property. You have a lot of developments putting in gated communities, including NHT, Gore, and other developers, right? You have also a lot of high-rise apartments going up. And in all of this, there are some green spaces created, and regardless, you're always going to have some people that have lawns, a lot of lawns, especially in the new developments. These gated communities that are going up, a lot of lawns are being created inside of them, and that is an opportunity. The people who are already in lawn care, they can't do it all by themselves. They need help right now, and that's why right now is a good time to start a business like that. Right? So in addition to all of this, you have the government and other companies which are putting up green areas and parks. And these green areas and parks need to be maintained. Some other companies will have their own personnel who maintain, but others will require the use of other people outside of their organization in order to get these done, and that's where you come in, right? Let's look at another factor, which is demographic factors, to include age and migration. So we have an aging population. Of course, we have youngsters coming up too, and that's why it is important that if you are a youngster, you can consider this. Because with the aging population, now you have homeowners rather, are people who would normally take care of them own land, do it themselves, who are getting old and can no longer manage all of these activities. And in addition to what we explained before about having more jobs and working longer hours, right? so they can no longer manage. In addition to that, you have the experienced lawn care personnel who work in other field, the experts who take care of the lawn and the edges and so forth, who are now also getting old and deciding they're going to have to do less lawns or they need some help now, right? And let's look also at migration. Migration, whether it be that people moving from one area, there, this very country, Jamaica, to another area, one parish to another parish, one community to another community, it now leaves space for other individuals to take up and complete the tasks which they used to complete, right? So aging population and migration are also two factors why it is now a good time to start a lawn care business. Now, another thing we can look at is improved and availability of technology. Improved technology and availability. So you know that now we have whole heap of companies that are building lawn mowers, brush cutters, or weed whackers as we know it, right? Leaf blowers, hedge cutters, and all of these things. And we have multiple brands. Parts are available, increasing the amount of technicians that are out there that are now able to fix the equipment when them break down, right? So we have places like Delta Supplies that supply these equipment, Ace iPro, Rapid Agro, Rapid or H&L Agro, among others. And tools, brands that are now on the market that are really good brands for lawnmowers and these kind of equipment are like Stihl, Toro, Craftsman. Well, Stihl does lawnmowers, but let's look at the influx of weed whackers more so, right? And these dealers usually, especially for Delta Supplies, they stock the parts, the Stihl. So you know these brands now have parts that if you need parts for these equipment, you can get the parts, and because they have an increase in the repair technicians, you can easily get the equipment repaired. So the improvement and availability of technology is one reason why it is easy for you to use this technology to get your lawn care done. No more using your machete or your billy. You understand? Right. And because we now have established and competent technicians, it makes it easy for us to get these jobs, these equipment fixed. So let's talk about profitability, sustainability, and potential for growth. Right? Number one, these trees grow without human intervention, and there's so much of them that you can cut so much trees, so much grass, that you definitely have the potential to make a profit. And when we think about sustainability now, we talk about having to do this and make a profit over and over, and you can definitely do that. Why? Because if these grass and plants and trees which don't require human intervention to grow, they grow over and over, month after month, week after week. So whatever your schedule is for individual customers, you will have customers that will require you to come and cut their grass or their lawn or trim their hedge or do their soil or the plants, their plant beds, right? So it is sustainable. You can do it month after month. It won't dry up, right? Next thing is there's multiple ways to make money. There's an abundance of activities concerned with lawn care and vegetation control that will help you to make money, and here are some of them. All right, one would be plant and grass, as in planting grass, right? Planting flowers, right? At the end of the day, after you plant these grass, they require maintenance, so you have to go there month after month or week after week to maintain them. There is also the hedges which people plant along their driveway or at the front of their lawn or the front of their yard, which also need maintenance, right? At times you have to remove weeds from the lawn or weeds from the garden beds. There's also spraying, where you spray out an entire area of weeds or you spray the weeds inside the grass, right? There's also other projects such as bushing projects. We have to chop down a whole area, right? Whether it is that you use a machete or other equipment, but there is that. And there's also more intricate things like landscaping, right? Which require you creating a design of a lawn and plants and as in flowers or hedging and so forth. So there's so much different things that you can do in order to make money, right? You can also rent tools and equipment. You can do maintenance of tools and equipment, right? Like blowers, mowers, trimmers, if you are geared towards, hands-on, working with small engines and so forth. there is that you can do sharpening of tools, right? You can create greenhouses, you can collect expensive plants like orchid. There is a lot of different expensive and what we would call now exotic plants that you can collect and sell. People who collect these and want them, and you can sell them. So you can also sell and rent plants. If you decide that you're going to build a greenhouse, you can sell and rent plants. So guys, listen, there's an abundance of things that you can do to make money from lawn and tree care. And given the economic climate right now and everything that is happening around the world, I think that now is a great time to start a lawn and tree care business. So next time we'll talk about another topic, but for now, think about it. Time to start a lawn and tree care if you think that you have the physical stamina that is required. And it isn't much, trust me, to go out there and stand up in the sun or in the rain and just work in the soil or among plants with tools to maintain all of this vegetation, make money, and be your own boss. Until next time, think about becoming a lawn and tree care professional.